Was that scary?
What was scary?
Was that episode scary?
No, I wasn't scared at all.
Hello, welcome to Culture Filter. I am the fill-in filter. This, as I said, is my son Rowan, and we're going to talk about Space Babies, the first episode of Season 1 of the new Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa's first full season. Did you enjoy it, Rowan? What did you think of it? What was your favourite bit?
The baby getting scared.
The babies getting scared. The babies were so cute. The babies were so cute. Overall thoughts, without any major spoilers. I thought the tone of this was really interesting because I wasn't sure from the trailers about how they were going to tackle the fact that there were quite clearly some bits which are meant to be tense and scary, but also these quite humorous bits. And overall, I think they struck that line quite well. It was overall more of a humorous episode, a light-hearted episode, which you probably need for the first episode. Much like Rose was, quite, had some scary moments with the Autons, but overall it was a bit of a fun, rompy adventure. This had the same kind of feel to it. So I really enjoyed that. I thought that the chemistry between Ruby and the Doctor was fantastic. Gesundheit. Careful with those bogeys. They were fantastic. I thought the energy that Ncuti brought to the role was really good. One thing that I thought they did really well in this episode, there was a lot of exposition in this episode. There was a lot of info dumping of stuff about the series that you just want to kind of get out of the way. The kind of like who the Doctor is, where he's from, all that stuff about thousands of years, adopted, Gallifrey, all that stuff was put in there with Ruby asking questions and the Doctor answering them. A lot of exposition, unlike, say, during the Chibnall era. The Chibnall era, one of the biggest weaknesses for me of the Chibnall era was the exposition. I thought it was often written in quite a clunky way, and I like lots of aspects of the Chibnall era, but that was one aspect that I didn't like, is the way the exposition was written and delivered, but I think I mostly put it on the writing for that. Here, not only I think is it written better, because it's not lingered on, it's kind of like, hey, here's this information, we're going to get it in a short, snappy way, but also it's delivered in a really engaging, energetic way that makes kind of not think that it's that, like, it doesn't drag. So I really liked that. What did you think of the Doctor and Ruby? Do you like the Doctor? The new Doctor? What about Ruby?
I like all of the Doctors and I like all of the Doctors.
You like all of the Doctors. That's good.
I like the screwdriver.
Do you like his new screwdriver? Do we need to get a toy of... We've got this screwdriver. Do we need to get a toy of his screwdriver when it comes out?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that then. I really like the babies. They were so cute, and I don't know if it's just from being a parent, but they tugged at my heartstrings quite a lot. Some of their lines, the one that went, "I pull this string really hard." I don't know what it does, but I pull it really hard. It's so cute. And the hugs, the fact that when Ruby hugged one of them, they all were like, me, and then the Doctor was, "Oh, when was the last time you were hugged?" "I've never been hugged." And so cute, so cute. I love that. I love the babies, and talking babies are always cute, frankly. And there were some really touching moments in this as well, like the moment where where the Doctor has a conversation with one of the babies about, the baby asks, "Did I grow up wrong?" And there's this really touching moment that delivers this lovely message that nobody grows up wrong. Nobody grows up wrong. Everybody just grows up as they are, and that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with anybody. Was there any bits you didn't like?
I don't like when the Doctor runs away from that monster.
No. That's an interesting point, actually, because in the trailers, I had said in my trailer reaction that, hey, it's a bit odd that the Doctor screams and then runs away, but they did actually explain that. The Doctor's usually a bit more braver than that, and this kind of like high-pitched squeal and then run away thing didn't feel very Doctor-y. And there is actually an explanation for that in the episode. It's that something to do with the sonic resonance of the scream of the monster induces fear. It made sense. It alleviated that issue I potentially had in the dialogue, and in another bit of explanatory dialogue that kind of worked. Oh, you want to switch sides? Okay, how's that?
Okay.
Is that better?
Maybe I can be a new doctor.
You can be a doctor.
Yeah, I can be a new doctor.
You can be a new doctor, yeah. That sounds good. You're the new doctor. You'll be the 16th doctor.
Yeah, and also and this can be my new sonic screwdriver. When I can do this, beep.
The nanny concept I quite liked, and how they used that. The filter was really funny. You got Jocelyn in the control room. As soon as, because we'd seen photos of her and knew she was going to be in the episode, I kind of figured that was who Nanny was as soon as Nanny started speaking. But I love how they used the filter of that, the kind of like expletives that you don't hear her say because it cuts to the Nanny filtered version of it. Very clever jokes for the adults in there. And the other thing we got with Jocelyn was the fact, this analogy that they kind of added into it, which I thought worked really well. It was there, it was blatant, but it was worked into the plot really well, and it complemented the plot, was the analogy they had for sort of abortion rights, particularly that kind of like very heightened version of that debate, let's call it, for in the US, where it made a very clear stance that the hypocrisy of forcing babies to be born, which is what is happening here. They said the law says they can't shut off the machines and stop the babies being born, stop the babies being created, but they're not going to help look after them. That was absolutely there as an analogy for, particularly in the US, the sort of abortion rights problems that people have. And I think it made a very clear stance, but it worked well in the plot. It was interesting. It was interesting the way they tied that all in. A simple but powerful analogy. I pretty much guessed as soon as the sneezes happened that the Bogeyman was going to be made of literal bogies. That turned out to be cool. I liked Ruby's reaction when she found out. Very disgusted the fact that her hair was now covered in snot. Another bit where there was some nice heart to the episode was where the doctor was trapped, the monster was trapped in the airlock by Jocelyn. Jocelyn was going to vent it into space, and the doctor is looking in, and you can see Shuji's acting here, top notch. You can see the pain in his eyes watching, because he realises this is a creature that is the only one of its kind, just like him, and he feels that pain. And this monster hasn't actually done anything wrong. Jocelyn is going to kill it just because it scares the children. That is effectively it. It has hurt no one, and she's going to kill it because it's scary, because of how it looks. And that's always been a message of Doctor Who, that is don't judge things how they look. And so obviously the Doctor then feels that pain and goes in and saves it. It's a lovely moment, really well acted, great stuff all round. The one little tiny bit that I thought was a bit too silly in an episode with talking babies, so I thought all that worked really well. You can have a lot of silliness in Doctor Who. And I guess it kind of works in the context, but I was like, the farting space station to move it, maybe a little too far. Where are you going? And then Ruby joins the TARDIS team. She gets invited on board, but he does have one stipulation. He can't take her back to that church. He's obviously learned from what happened with Rose and her father that you don't do that. You don't risk changing someone's personal history like that, because paradoxes can happen. Bad paradoxes. We see him scanning Ruby at the end. I didn't spot anything come up on the scanner that, I think it said she was Homo sapien, said she was 19 years and something old. Couldn't spot anything that it was flagging up there, but obviously he's scanning her for something, just to check if there's something weird going on with her, because there was the moment where the memory bled through and they got snow from earlier. That was something that piqued his interest as, why is this happening? This has never happened before. I'm interested to see where that goes. Are we going to get more of that going forward? So, yeah, I thought this was a solid enough start to the season. I'm mostly looking forward to next episode, which I'm going to watch now. But, yeah, overall, very good. What did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll be back to review The Devil's Chord very soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this out on the same day, but if not, the next. I've got a very busy Saturday, but if not, it'll be out on Sunday. I'll see you then. Goodbye. Do you want to say goodbye, Rowan?